Andrew Wakefield's 1998 study suggesting the possibility of a link between autism and the MMR vaccine gave many parents around the world a reason to stop vaccinating.
It's the fact that there are millions of children out there suffering, and the fact that vaccines can cause autism. And that is a fact that's accepted by the American government.
You know, there's really scary statistics out there, and to each their own. I've read too many books, and autism wasn't prevalent like it is now years ago.
In February 1998, a group led by Andrew Wakefield published a fraudulent paper in the respected British medical journal The Lancet, supported by a press conference at the Royal Free Hospital in London. This paper reported on 12 children with developmental disorders referred to the Royal Free Hospital. The parents or physicians of 8 of these children were said to have linked the start of behavioral symptoms to the MMR vaccination. The paper described a collection of symptoms that were said to be evidence of a possible novel syndrome that Wakefield would later call autistic enterocolitis, and recommended further study into the possible link between the condition and the MMR vaccine. The paper suggested that the connection between autism and the pathologies was real, but said it did not prove an association between the MMR vaccine and autism. The General Medical Council, which is responsible for licensing doctors and supervising medical ethics in the UK, investigated the affair. On January 28, 2010, the GMC panel delivered its decision on the facts of the case. Wakefield was found to have acted dishonestly and irresponsibly, and to have acted with callous disregard for the children involved in his study, conducting unnecessary and invasive tests. The panel found that the trial was improperly conducted without the approval of an independent ethics committee, and that Wakefield had multiple undeclared conflicts of interest. In response to the GMC investigation and findings, the editors of The Lancet announced on February 2, 2010, that they fully retracted this paper from the published record. Observers have criticized the involvement of mass media in the controversy, what is known as Science by Press Conference, alleging that the media provided Wakefield's study with more credibility than it deserved. A March 2000 paper in BMC Public Health by Shona Hilton, Mark Pettigrew, and Kate Hunt postulated that media reports on Wakefield's study had created the misleading impression that the evidence for the link with autism was as substantial as the evidence against.
That a vaccine would prevent serious diseases that are hard to treat, that they protect us. I was kind of surprised because when I was vaccinating all of my kids, there never seemed to be any controversy. It's just what you did. And recently I've heard a little bit about kids having more of a chance of getting autism because of a certain vaccine. I really don't know much about it.
Here with Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
We're doing a project on vaccinations. We just want to know if you could give us some background on what vaccinations are and how they work.
There are drugs that we're given at a very usually early age, through our early age, to help prevent diseases like measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, the flu. You may have had a flu vaccine this year, and so they can prevent a lot of dangerous diseases, and also a lot of dangerous outcomes of having these diseases.
So, in your opinion, are vaccinations safe? Should anybody worry about getting a vaccination?
Well, that's a really great question, because a study just came out, I guess it was last week or the week before, in the Journal of one of the journals of medicine, and it showed, again, after many other studies have been done over a long time, that vaccinations are completely safe, and they do not lead to autism spectrum disorder, which a lot of people just call as autism. That's been a controversy that's been out there for a long time. A lot of parents are concerned about giving their children vaccinations when they're very young, because they start out pretty much in the very first few months of birth, or after birth. And so a lot of parents have said, hey, maybe this could lead to this, maybe getting all these vaccinations at one time, or multiple doses of vaccinations. But the studies, science has shown that there are no links to autism or autism spectrum disorder.
For more information, visit www.cdc.gov/vaccines, where you can find vaccination schedules for your provider. It's an easy way to vaccinate and prevent diseases.